Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go the Cash App, $ Deem by any means. There go the PayPal at Deem by any means. You already know what I'm about to say. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It's much appreciated. Yo, Terence here. The boxer. I can't let you do this, my guy. You're sitting out here lying on Ennis. First of all, Bernie the boxer is trying to tell Coach Kenny, and I didn't like that Coach Kenny was just letting him get this stuff off. Like, how is Bernie the boxer telling Coach Kenny what Gervonta need when Terence Crawford is not nowhere near the star that Gervonta Davis is? How you giving advice when the guy you represent is not the same way? You could use advice. You ain't in a position to be giving none. The guy you for Earl Spence, who was the star. You weren't the star, and I'm a Bud fan. But what we not going to do is lie. Bud fight still ain't sold out right now. Bud fight still ain't sold out right now. How you sit up there and give somebody advice on how to be a star when Bud's not a star? That's first of all. And then he's sitting up there talking about the great Terence Crawford, as if Terence Crawford has 3 fights on his resume we actually cared about. Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Earl Spence. Why are you talking like Terence Crawford has fought all these stars? Who has he fought? He's fought 3 people that we like. He just beat them up so we know how good he is. Undeniable that Terence Crawford is amazing, but let's stop it, guys. Terence Crawford's team is the wrong people to be giving business advice to. Terence Crawford should have been way bigger star than he is. What are you talking about, sir? Terence Crawford should have been this big 10 years ago. Terence Crawford ain't just get good. Terence Crawford is 37 years old. Terence Crawford is the most popular at the end of his career. He's the only guy that is on his level that can say that. Everybody else was popular in their prime. And then he lied on Jaronennis and said Jaronennis ain't do nothing to put himself in position. Bernie, Jaronennis literally became Terence Crawford mandatory. What are you talking about? He literally fought for the interim title to fight Terence Crawford. They literally told Terence Crawford and Earl Spence that y'all got to negotiate with Jaron Boots Ennis after that fight. Whoever wins that fight. What are you talking about, my guy? He ain't do nothing to deserve Terence Crawford, but Madrimov did, a guy with 10 fights did. That's duck talk. Terence Crawford, go get your homeboy, bro. He making you look bad. Madrimov is not close to the star that Jaron Ennis is, but he's trying to downplay Jaron Ennis. And what you going to do, big up Madrimov? What are you talking about? He didn't do nothing to get the fight. If Eddie and them believed in him, you wouldn't have signed the contract anyway. And then just to admit that Terence Crawford got to be the one to send the contract to Jaron Ennis in the next sentence. He talking about Tank Davis needs Shakur. People don't even want to watch Shakur fight right now. What are you talking about, my guy? If Tank Davis fights, y'all, Lomachenko, Williams Zepeda, Keyshawn Davis, you won't hear nobody say nothing. That'd be the only person you hear him say about, but they going to criticize Tank regardless. What are you talking about? But Shakur definitely needs Tank, though, for his entertainment value. Absolutely. Why do we just sit up here? And then he was saying it with so much bravado. Bro, people were just walking out of Shakur Stevenson arena. What are you talking about, my guy? That Tank need him. If Tank fight Keyshawn Davis, Williams Zepeda, Lomachenko, and goddamn Shakur fights Frank Martin, Della Santos rematch, and Barenchek. What are you talking about, my guy? Just a bunch of duck talk, yo. I don't like it. It's just a bunch of duck talk, y'all, and it's unnecessary, bro. He talking about Terence Crawford don't see nothing in Jaron Ennis, but he sees something in Madrimov. Hey, Bernie, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Jaron Ennis did better in Philadelphia against the same opponent that Terence Crawford had in his hometown. Yes, that sold more, my guy. Yes, we actually came out and supported our guy. And don't tell me, well, it was in Omaha. Omaha got more than 15, 16,000 people. Okay? Don't tell me it couldn't have been super sold out. I don't want to hear that. Let Gervonta Davis fight in Omaha. Let Gervonta Davis fight Lomachenko in Omaha. I guarantee you it'd still be millions and millions of dollars, box office, the whole nine. Stop it. You talking about Ennis ain't bring nothing to the table when Ennis against the same opponent did way better in his hometown and stopped the same guy earlier. What are you talking about? Don't do that to Crawford, bro. You claiming that that's your mans and all that, but you making them look bad. So you're like, what are you talking about? Nobody believes Madrimov deserves a fight with Terence Crawford more than Ennis. Nobody believes that but you, sir. Nobody believes that but you out here beating your chest about it. What are you talking about? Terence Crawford fights once a year. How you giving Gervonta Davis advice? You're not a bigger star than Gervonta. Talking about resumes. Crawford, you're 4-3 people that we actually wanted to see you fight, my guy. All the rest of them we didn't care about. Just like Madrimov, we don't care about this. We didn't want to see you fight Madrimov. Ain't nobody asked for that fight. What are you talking about? See, y'all, this is why I get in trouble. Because I'm supposed to sit back and not say nothing. Why? Because he's Bernie the boxer, Terence Crawford, homeboy, I don't care. He's wrong, completely wrong. And it sounds like a lot of duck talk. He's making every excuse not to fight Ennis. I wonder why. He ain't did nothing. Hey, Bernie, if he ain't did nothing, then why every interview y'all get asked about Ennis for the last year and a half? Why is Terence Crawford getting asked about Ennis more than everybody else, including Canelo Alvarez? So if he hasn't done nothing to get that fight, then what the hell has Terence Crawford done to get the fight over David Benavidez with Canelo? We need answers. Don't come on here lying, bro. Don't come on here lying. Yeah, you a fan of Tank. You trying to give advice to Tank when Terence Crawford can't sell. He sold half of what Tank did. They fought in the same year. He had his biggest fight of his life and sold half of what Tank did. How are you giving advice? Terence Crawford fights once a year. Tank fights at least 2 to 3 times a year. How are you giving advice about how somebody need to move? Y'all just be letting people say stuff because of who they associated with. Just because he associated with Crawford don't make him right. Just because he associated with Crawford don't make him an expert. Ennis ain't do nothing to deserve it. Then why is they getting asked about it on the Breakfast Club? Why every time Terence Crawford turn around, they are putting boots in his face? It sounds like he's doing enough to me. He ain't fighting top-level competition. But these were the same guys that was mad that people was downplaying David Avanesian just for you to downplay David Avanesian against Boots. Just for you to do the same thing. Hey, y'all, do y'all got a good memory? Because I do. Do y'all remember a couple years ago, Terence Crawford was talking about don't nobody want to fight him, and all he needs is the opportunity, and people ain't want to give me the opportunity. That's why he left Top Rank. But then you the same fighter that's in position to give a young star the opportunity, and then you don't do it. I forgot. I'm not a Terence Crawford fan now, huh? Because I won't sit up there and do what Bernie the boxer did. I'm not a Terence Crawford fan now, huh? I guess. Bro, Bernie, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. We don't care. We don't want to see Terence Crawford fight nobody more than we want to see him fight Ennis, sir. I don't know who told you that lie. Why are you speaking for us at the public? Speak for you and Team Crawford. Do not speak for the public. He ain't done nothing. He'll get Terence Crawford his biggest payday besides Canelo right now. Because people ain't even all that, especially if Errol Spence don't come back looking right. I guarantee you more people are interested in Ennis versus Crawford than Errol Spence too. He ain't done nothing. Y'all, he literally became the man mandatory. He literally made the man drop the belt. What are you talking about? He didn't done. Hey, Bernie, don't Terence Crawford hold every other belt in the 147 division besides one? Which one don't he hold? Somebody please tell me in the comment section, which belt do Terence Crawford not hold at 147? And who was his mandatory and why he ain't? Never mind that. Never mind. Sound like he doing a lot. And if he ain't doing a lot, then tell your man's Terence Crawford to drop the belts so he get a chance to become undisputed then. Since you worried about accolades and belts so much now. It was funny, they wasn't worried about accolades and belts when Earl Spence was collecting the belts. They said Earl was using the belts as an excuse. But when Coach Kenny talked about we ain't worried about the belts, that's a problem. Bro, Terence Crawford only held that one belt for years. What are you talking about? He didn't care about the belts neither. Yo, I just can't let these people get out here and lie and just say stuff that's just not true. So y'all already know what this is, right? Dean, by any means. And I holla at y'all.